Hello, my name is Jim Mullany from Sitek Process Solutions. Today is Friday, April 10th, 2020. Hope everyone is being safe with the COVID-19. At Sitek, we also are being very safe. I'm actually in final test. Everyone's required to wear masks at our company with gloves. I have taken my mask off only because you wouldn't be able to hear me in my final test area to do this video demonstration. But as soon as I'm done, we will go ahead and I'll put that back on. We also have a protocol where the masks and gloves are at the front. And starting this week, to be we want our people to be safe, we're going to start doing temperature monitoring of them when they come in the morning to make sure no one has a temperature. This is a fully remanufactured 840S spin rinse dryer. For the safety of our customers, or the privacy I should say, we do not give their name out in our video because this is uploaded to the website, but we do give their PO number. This is 412-000-3048. This system, again, is an 840, which means it handles up to 4-inch substrates. This customer is configured for 2-inch, the traditional A7220M rotor. A7220M rotor. That is the most standard Integrous cassette in the industry for 2-inch. It also has our state-of-the-art upgraded SlickDevice F1 controllers. These controllers, with our remanufacturing process, makes this system as good as any system you can buy new in the market. We believe our remanufacturing process is to like new condition, and with our state-of-the-art controller upgrade, it's no one can compete to us against us in the market. We also have our light indicators. We'll talk about that. Amber yellow means we're idle, which we are right now. As we run the process, they'll change colors, and I'll talk about that. Let's look at the options we have here. Let's see. We have okay. Looks like it's a pretty straightforward. Okay, DI resistivity. Okay, I'm going to look back here. Those are two of the most standard options. I do see the resistivity probes. The resistivity probe measures the cleanliness of the water leaving the tool. You can set a megohm reading so you can rinse longer if the water doesn't come out. It also has the water recirculation, which I see back here. We have a valve assembly that you can adjust from a trickle down to full flow. What that does, it stops the dead leg of the DI water at a valve, so it helps any bacteria growth. Very common in the industry for the last 30 years to stop dead leg bacteria growth. What I'll do is I'll talk about our process here, and then I will go ahead and start the tool, and I'll talk about our remanufacturing process. Let's see what kind of program we have done in here. Okay, we have a pretty traditional program, and I'm going to leave this one in here. It's a little bit longer than normal, but it'll give me a couple minutes to talk about our tools. So step one is rinse, 60 seconds, low RPM. You have a purge, and I'll talk about that when we go into purge, a dry one and a dry two. Our graphic-oriented design shows you what's happening. Right now we have the LPP on, which you can see, low pressure purge, and rotor RSP means rotor stop position is up. If you notice if I move it, look at the top one. Now you see how it's not up, you got the error. Now it's not up. We have complete monitoring of the tool. If we have an alarm for some reason at the end of the process, the alarm will come up. This will be the alarm button that would be flashing. You can look at it, you can see there's nothing lit. It would be red if there was an alarm. It could be low end 2, it could be bad heater blankets, it could be bad anti-statics, it could be a wide range of things. We monitor quite a lot of things that the original semi-tool spin rinse dryer could not be monitored on. So maybe just end this. We also have a maintenance mode, so if there is a problem, customer then just, the operator clicks maintenance mode. The light cycling between green and yellow means maintenance mode. That means the tool's down, and when the maintenance department comes over, they fix the tool, they clear it, and they go back. Okay, back to idle. So what I'm going to do, start the tool, then go talk about our manufacturing process. One thing I want to talk about first, we also have what's known as our purge saver system. So we in the industry, N2 can be expensive, and the rinse dryers use N2 all day long, even when they're idle. There's been lots of studies done, and lots of studies done actually, that most customers don't run the rinse dryer actually running more than about 20% of the time. Sometimes as low as 5, sometimes as high as 25 or 30%, but we find anywhere from 15 to 20 is the standard. So during that other 80% of the time, it's just wasted nitrogen. And our system, I'll go into the menu. Actually, I'm going to go to the bottom and down below. It's a little bit easier for me. Let's go back there. Menu, password, N2 settings. It's all built in. It's not an option. You get it automatically at no cost. This is our N2 feature. This is the timer. After the process is over, how long do you want the N2 to stay on before it's done. We also have, after doing analysis with customers over the last few years, some of them said, well, I want my system to turn back on to keep a positive purge once in a while. We have a timer you can set. And we also have a heat down timer for people that run very long processes. What happens is your N2 heater gets super hot because it's stainless steel. And then if you run a process right after without letting it cool down, then you can get a failure on it. With this long, as you say, it's called N2 heater cool down after long dry cycle. If it's on, we do an extended purge to cool down the heater assembly before we turn off the nitrogen. So a customer just simply turns it on. I'm going to do that so you can see it at the end of the process. And 20 seconds is fine. I'll leave it there. So that's all you have to do. Right there. That one thing on that option can save a customer anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 a year in N2 usage, depending on how often their tools are being run. It's a direct payback of these controllers. It turns out right now, I would say 90% of all the tools that we ship, and we ship about anywhere from 3 to 6 or 7 a week, come with our new state-of-the-art controller. We have fabs worldwide that have standardized on us now, and we have continual, every week, more fabs coming to us asking for the first 2 to 4 controllers so they can do their process testing before they decide to upload and upgrade the whole fab. So I won't go into this controller. Only reason is we have a lot of videos on our YouTube website, which you'll be directed to off this link, that you can do a complete review of all the options, how it works, why it works, and so forth. So we have quite a lot. So to run the tool, customer just comes in, a little 2-inch cassette, slide it in, hit start. Green means we're running. As you saw, the light turned green. Let's do the bottom system. Cassette's in, hit start. Should go green or dead. Okay, so our controller tells you what's happening. Green's good. You've got your rinse valve on. You got your low pressure purge valve on. Excuse me, and you got your water on. 500 RPM. Notice our controller, it's exactly on 500. We have our system, I can't go into detail because it's proprietary, but the way we control our RPMs, we keep it exactly plus or minus 1, or usually plus or minus 0 all the time. So now we're in the rinse cycle. What's going to happen, you're going to go into purge. What the purge cycle does is it blows N2 through the DI assembly, so there's no water drips back during the dry cycle. And we'll just do that in a second. If the top one's a little bit ahead of it, got 13 seconds left. And in a traditional rinse and dryer process, it's a high RPM step. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. So purge is done. Now we're going to dry 1, and you'll be and then dry 2. What dry 1 does, it's high RPM, 1800 RPM, and it actually uses the high RPM to sling the water off of the wafer, the cassette, and the rotor. Then you go into what's a traditional elongated dry 2, which does the same thing, but also uses N2 heat and the bowl heater. The N2 heat and bowl heater are also in dry 1, but that is not what dry 1's made for. It's made really to sling everything off the substrate. And then, again, the elongated dry cycle dries everything out. I have a 90-second dry 1. A lot of customers only do 30 seconds in there, so it's really up to the customer to define. We have best-known recipes we give customers if they have any questions, so we can help them any way they want. Talking about our support. Let me go talk about a remanufacturing process. So at Sitek, we can rebuild or build any type rinser dryer. We can build 300 millimeter systems. We can do 50 millimeter systems. We can reconfigure systems. It doesn't matter to us. We do our own frames, our own poly, our own bowls. So we reconfigure as necessary. So when a job folder comes down to the manufacturing floor, a technician who's assigned to it starts the teardown of a tool, reconfigure the correct size parts. We go through and check all critical parts. We do all the wire harnesses. We go through and the heater blankets. We have special processing here at Sitek for the bowls before we send them out to get them re-lusher polished. We go through all the ACR valves. We go through all the motors. We have a large list of parts that are automatically replaced. The customer would have received that already when they received the presentation and the quote, so I won't go into detail on that. But once the head's built up in dry test, there's another technician QC it's done. Assuming it passes the first pass, it moves into wet test. If it doesn't, the repairs are made and it comes into wet test. What I'll show you right here, this is an example of a tool coming into wet test. There's no poly, there's no frame, there's no anything. The heads are brought in. They're hooked up to our DI system where we ensure there's no leaks. All the valves work good. All the ACR valves are working well. Then we go through another technician review and then a 50-run sign-off process with no errors. After that, the system is put into its configuration. Here's 2 systems that are being configured right now. The head assembly is put into however configuration. In this case, a double stack. We start putting our controllers in. We run the wires. We put all the amps in. We clean everything up. Then we go through another 50 process runs. Assuming that the system passes that, all the skins are put on. Here's an example of a skin put on. And then the machine is given to sales for us to do a video source inspection for the customer. As you can see, we're always busy in final tests. All these systems will be out here by the end of the week, Monday worst case. So we are doing a lot of work. So let me talk about our support process now. So now we have about 2 minutes. If you go to our website at sitekprocess.com, on the left-hand side, the first 7 buttons you'll see are all semi-tool related. The first 3 are the spin wrench dryers. We have the F model, we have the S model, and the traditional ST. The next 3 buttons are all the spare parts. All these machines, we have 100% spare parts. We have door seals, we have windows, we have amps, custom built by Sitek. We have brushless motors, we have ACR valves, we have sensors, 8 psi, 20 psi. We have our own rotor stop positioner that uprights the thing. Every part brand new. We can do it, not a problem. We also have, for customers that have an existing facility that has a lot of tools, we have controller repairs, we have amp repairs, we have controller replacement, amp replacements, everything. So we have a 100% full support. If you also go to our website, the main product lines we have are a few different categories. Wet processing, let's call it. So that we do the Integris and Flora box washers, the 8010, 8020, 8030. We do quite a lot of them. We have spare parts on the spray nozzles, the spray arms, on the hubs, on the heaters, on the valving, on the software, on the Omron controllers. You'll see all those parts in our system. We also do a lot of the high pressure mask cleaners or wafer scrubbers, either high pressure or high pressure and scrub. We do K&S, Ultratech, Ultra T, and so forth. So we do quite a lot. Then if you look at our other product lines, we do metrology tools. We do particle counters. That would be your KLA particle counters. We do metrology in the sense that we do thin film measurement systems. We do resistivity systems. We also do high and low power microscopes. We do etchers and ashers, the Matrix, the Branson, techniques and so forth, some tabletop. So we have quite a lot of tools on our website. Everything Sitek sells, and make sure we have 34 seconds left, is fully remanufactured. Nothing is sold as is, nothing is sold just tested. Everything goes through complete remanufacturing in our company with a full warranty. Okay, 25 seconds. At the end of the process, the rotor stop positioner called RSP, which I said we can supply new on our website, it has a piston that shoots out. It rolls against the cam assembly, hits a flat and uprights we call 12 o'clock, and that'll upright that. That will release the door at 0 RPM. Once it starts winding down, it'll wind down quickly because these are only 2-inch wafers. When it hits 70 is when the RSP fires. You'll see very quickly. Watch. Okay, so done, process over. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. Process over. Blue means I'm ready to be unloaded. Amber means you're idle. Green means you're running. Blue means you're to be unloaded, and red means there's an alarm. Okay, so to clear this, you don't have to actually clear it by hand. You can open the door, you can hit stop, or you can hit the button. All 3 do the same thing. So watch the top one, I'll just open the door. There you go, it cleared. What I like to do first is feel for the hot end too. Ooh, nice and warm, don't want to burn my hand. Look at the wafers. Oh, cassette's nice and warm. Wafers are nice and dry. Bowl looks beautiful. Now let's look at the bottom one. And on this one, I'll show you the other way of clearing it. Right here, acknowledge. That's one of the 3 ways. There we go. Feel for the hot end too. Feels good. Wafers look good. Nice. Yes. Bowl looks nice and clean, reprocessed, and dry. Okay, so that will conclude this video acceptance of a remanufactured 840F spin rinse dryer utilizing the state-of-the-art Sitek F1 controllers. If there's any questions, my name is Jim Mullany from Sitek Process Solutions, obviously. My number is 916-797-9000. Then you can ask for anyone in our sales department, and we'll be able to get you appropriate information on any spare parts or systems. Thank you. Have a great day.